What up, Photogs? Thanks for tuning in. The topic of today's live Q&A sesh is all things marketing. I've been getting tons of questions about how to market your photography business. And this is one of those things that no matter how good you are, what kind of work you do, where you are, if you are not actively marketing to bring in real paying clients, then it doesn't really matter what kind of photos you take. But I have a course coming out next month that can solve all of those things. There are tons of lists out on the internet, thousands probably, that are like 38 ways to market your business, and that's cool. There's a really nice list of things that you can read, but they don't tell you how to actually do any of that stuff. And that's why this course is different, because I take 18 proven ways, and those are ways that I have personally marketed my business to get real paying clients. And I break down step by step exactly what you need to do to get people on your calendar. And these are not the $50 shoot and burn sessions. My average sales between $1,500 and $2,000. And I'm still in business. So these are ways that I know have worked, and they're things that I regularly do. And if you want to get in as one of the lucky 6 beta testers to get half off this program, save $500, and you'll still get full lifetime access to the private Facebook group just for members of the course, as well as monthly coaching sessions in the group, feedback, all kinds of new tips and tricks and updates to everything in the program, swing on over to photogsunite.com/marketing course, and you can apply right there. And I'll be announcing the 6 winners on March 1st, 2018. So we have about 9 days to go. And if you are in the US and have an American-based phone number, you can also just text marketing course as one word to 44222. So again, just text marketing course, one word, to 44222. But let's dive into some things that you can jump on right now, whether or not you decide to take this course. The most important thing that photographers need to do, or anybody in business really, is identify your ideal client. And this is probably the least fun part of marketing, but it's the most important, because if you don't know who you're marketing to, then why bother? Then you're like the dude on a milk crate with a megaphone standing on the corner in the city or on the college campus, just shouting at people. And the easiest way to get everyone to ignore you is to not talk to anyone specifically. So what does it mean to identify your ideal client? This is the first thing I have my private coaching clients do when we get started. Let's say you do family portraits, for example. Then let's identify one of the clients that you want to keep booking over and over. So the moms are always the ones who do the bookings, right? The dads generally don't care. So we know we're going after women, and let's identify an age. And this is not a range, but a specific age. So let's say 42 years old. Where does she live? Get specific. San Francisco, California. That's just where I am. It can be whatever city you're in. Where does she come from, and why did she come from there? So, for example, she could have moved to the Bay Area 10 years ago for college, where she ended up finding a job and meeting her now husband, and they decided to stay in the area and start a family. They also are both career-oriented. She works in software sales, making $95,000 a year. She drives a 2017 Toyota Camry. She doesn't need to spend money on tons of flashy things, but she wants a safe, reliable vehicle to get her children around. These are all important things to write down. And they may seem like they're details that don't really matter, but they make a world of difference when you are communicating with your client. Now, what does she do on the weekends? Does she go to yoga class? Does she like to go hiking? Or would she rather go to book club meetings? Or does she like to go play paintball or ride motorcycles, right? People do all kinds of things, and there's no right or wrong answer. You just have to identify what your ideal client does. Now, does this mean everyone you book is going to race BMX bikes or go sailing on the weekends? No. But by framing this lifestyle, then you can more accurately communicate with your client, because you're going to speak to somebody differently who likes to go yachting on the weekends and vacationing in the Hamptons than you will somebody who, well, doesn't do any of those things, right? They're different points of reference that you can find common ground with and connect with. Also doesn't mean you have to do any of those things, but knowing who your client is, again, will help you communicate with them. If you cater to tattooed moms only who live alternative lifestyles and who like to make their own beer at home, then you're going to use way different wording than if you are catering to the kind of moms who go out for brunch on Sundays with her girlfriends while all the dads stay home, barbecue, and watch football. Totally different markets. Both are wonderful types of clients to go after. You just have to identify which one is yours. Now, where does she go shopping for food? Does she do the grocery shopping, or does somebody else in the family do it? Because if she shops at Whole Foods, then she'll have a different set of values and a different set of habits than someone who shops at Safeway or whatever other, more lower budget grocery stores in your area. And these things, again, might seem like they're not important, but they will totally frame up how you speak to your client and also where you can market to them. So once we have this profile, and I also suggest, by the way, getting a photo that represents your ideal client. So you have a name, her name could be Jennifer, and you have a photo, and post them right there on your desk. So every time you are writing a blog post, or you are writing to flesh out your newest ad campaign, or you are writing thank you cards, whatever it may be, you are speaking directly to this person. Obviously, don't put her name on everything, but this is the person that you are having conversations with. All of your social media posts are directed towards this exact person, and this will help you more accurately connect with your future clients. So another big thing that I've noticed is identifying strategies versus tactics. And again, this goes back to those lists that we've all seen where there's 38 ways to market your business. It's like use Facebook, write blog posts, donate to charities. Those aren't strategies, despite what the list may say. Those are all tactics. So a strategy is your overall game plan. For example, I want to establish myself as an expert in my field so that my clients rely on me as their trusted advisor, and they know that I connect with them and understand their wants and needs. That is a strategy. Or I want to have a strong presence in the local charity scene to show that I am community oriented and willing, and I desire to take care of those less fortunate. That is a strategy. The things you actually do to make that come to fruition is your tactic. So for example, I'm going to donate to every single school fundraiser that I can come across. Every charity that calls me looking for donations, I will happily donate a photo shoot. And by giving those gift cards away and by going to these events and marketing yourself, those are tactics. Just like writing targeted blog posts to put together guides for your clients, those are tactics. Using Facebook ads, those are tactics. So you can't copy somebody else's tactics without also understanding their strategy, or these things aren't going to work. Because I'm sure we have all seen other photographers claim that this one thing has made me tons of money. All you have to do is copy it, and you will also book tons of clients. But we're not understanding their entire strategy, and without that overall game plan, we're missing components. And that's why it's not working for us. So one of the more common ones that I've seen circulating in the last few months is the model call, where you put a blast out on Facebook, say, hey, I'm looking for this type of couple to do these kinds of engagement shoots, and you'll get a free session and a $100 print credit to the lucky few that are chosen for these portfolio shoots, right? Then you do the shoots, you provide hair and makeup, you kick butt, and you provide an amazing experience and great photos. Then, because you've educated them properly, they show up for their viewing session, because we should all be doing in-person sales if we want to make real money at this, and then they buy more prints. but you also have to be prepared to not sell anything because they might have just wanted to get in on a free shoot. And if you didn't know the overall strategy behind this, then you're probably going to get a lot of people just looking for a free shoot, expecting a CD full of images. So the overall strategy is to expose yourself to new potential clients, and you are looking for your ideal client. That exercise we just did a few minutes ago. So for example, I'm looking for tattooed couples who want an alternative style wedding, and we're going to do these cool, grungy, urban engagement photos for my portfolio and for your wedding display, right? Apply here to be chosen as one of the couples, and then a bunch of people from those communities will apply, and you have to educate them along the way that this is a portfolio shoot and the shoot itself will be free. But before the shoot happens, start looking around your home and identify which walls you want to hang your new portraits on. Or let's find these ways to show off these photos at your wedding. You have to start planting these seeds ahead of time so that they realize they're going to have to buy photos from you if they want photos. You've also sent your printing and pricing options well ahead of time so that they can see how much you cost, because you don't want them to show up thinking it's a free shoot and suddenly they're like, whoa, I have to give you $3,000 for photos? I thought this was a free thing. And if you aren't aware of the whole strategy to convert them from new leads to fully paying clients, and then hopefully book you for the wedding too, then this thing is just going to be a big flop. It's going to be a waste of Facebook ad money, a waste of your time, a waste of their time, and you could end up with negative reviews on Yelp or Google, which is going to hurt you from getting future clients. So unless you have the overall strategy and game plan mapped out, the tactics aren't going to work for you. So I've put together one of my favorite things that I've done over the years, and I'm going to teach you exactly how to do that now. This is one of the things in the course that I have coming up, but because you are watching this now, I'm going to give you a sneak peek and walk you through this start to finish. One of the things that I like to do is establish myself as an expert who understands my clients' wants and needs. Because if they see me as more than just someone who's going to show up and take pictures, then they will value what I provide more, and they're going to be willing to pay more for what I offer. I offer, very high-end services that are all inclusive and premium products. So I've already positioned myself with the copy on my website, with the style of my photography, with the way that I word things. They know that that's what they're getting. So I don't shoot weddings, but I do engagements. I really enjoy shooting engagements. So last year before, either way, I set out to put together a guide on choosing wedding vendors. And I can't just say how to choose wedding vendors, because that might be a searchable topic that people are looking for, but that's not really a sexy title. So I came up with how to save time and plan the perfect wedding, because that's exactly what it does. You can save time. It was originally how to save time and money and plan the perfect wedding, but I don't want to position myself as somebody who is going to be low budget. I want clients who are willing to spend money to get everything done right the first time. So I did a bunch of research, and I found the best hairstylists and makeup in the area. I found the best florist in the area, the best wedding caterers, the wedding venues, jewelry stores, DJs. I found all the possible wedding vendors that I could find, and I did my research to find ones that had great reviews, that were catering towards my type of clients who are in my sort of price point, because I don't want to pair myself up with a bunch of lower priced vendors or ones that are like way higher end than me, because that's not congruent. So I found ones that cater to my exact same clients. And I had them put together a list of 5 things that every bride should ask before choosing that type of wedding vendor. So for hair and makeup, for example, some of the questions were, do you have samples of your work that you can do? Do you show up on location? Do we need to go to you? Or, for the photography services, you know what? I'm just going to pull it up right now and read some of these questions, because they were really good and I don't want to overlook these. These are all on my website, MikeLloydPhoto.com. You can just swing on over to the blog, and it should be the very first post that you see there. I actually don't even shoot engagements anymore, but I'm going to leave this up because it drives traffic to my page and establishes me as the expert. All right, so for hair and makeup styling, some of the questions that they came up with. Can you provide at least 3 referrals from recently married friends? And again, these are questions the bride should be asking the stylist. Will they book a consultation, or do they just do things over the phone? Let's see. You will instantly know it's a scam if they're on Instagram and they're only charging $60. And then just different things like, are they a good listener? Are they experienced with weddings? Do they have a lot of wedding photos in their portfolio? Are they patient and reliable? Because the vendors may have done this 1,000 times before, but odds are this bride has never been married. So she might not know the questions to ask or what she's even really looking for. And it's up to the vendors to guide them through it. Let's go to the wedding venue. I had Fogarty Winery here in Woodside, California. Some of the questions they asked: what are the time and restrictions of the venue? How early can we start? How late can we go? You know, a couple getting married might not realize there are noise restrictions, or maybe they only book venues for half a day at a time. And you'd hate to book a venue for a wedding to find out you have a 2-hour window and then you got to get out because the next couple's coming through. What are the sound ordinances in the area? Do they provide catering, or do you have to use a caterer from off-site? So these are all questions that the actual vendors provided. I did not come up with these, but these are the things they said are the most important that prospective brides should ask before choosing the vendor. And one of the things that I specified is these aren't things that make you particularly great as a vendor, but things that the bride should ask to make sure that you are both a good fit for each other, because this isn't a sales pitch. This is helping to educate the client so that they make the best decision for them. But if you're willing to step up and say, hey, I want you to have the best possible experience, and these are the things that you should look out for, who do you think is going to be the first person they call to actually inquire about their wedding? It's totally going to be you. So it was a win-win. So I had, I think, 12 different wedding vendors in this guide. And you can see it was just a photo of their work, all their contact information, the person the bride should be contacting, where they're located, their website, so that the prospective brides can go check everything out. Then the list of questions. And then I just moved on to the next one. And the whole page are these questions from each of these vendors. Now here's where the magic happens. When this thing is done, I send out the links to everyone that I was in contact with ahead of time. And all of us share this blog post that's on my website with all of our email lists. We post it to our social media accounts. And they're going to be stoked, like, hey, we got featured on this guide of the Bay Area's best wedding vendors. Or, you know, London's best lingerie shops, if you do boudoir photography, or if you're in Sydney and photograph families, like the best family-friendly restaurants to bring your kids to on the weekend when you just don't feel like cooking, right? So you can put together a guide no matter what sort of photography you do, get other local vendors involved, and then you market for each other, and then you bounce referrals off each other. But then you can run paid traffic via Facebook ads, Instagram, Google AdWords, and just send people to this page. So when they're recently engaged, or if they're looking for wedding venues, whatever it may be, use those terms and those key phrases and criteria to send people to this page. And again, it's not a sales pitch, but it's a way to establish yourself as an expert who's willing to make sure the client has a great experience, even if it's not you, because that's going to go a long way. And even if you're not the best fit, when their friend gets engaged, or their friend wants a boudoir shoot, or needs family photos, your name is probably going to come up because you've done such a good job of providing all of this valuable information. And then if you stick an opt-in on the page, something like, download this guide for the 10 best honeymoon locations, again, for weddings, or if you do family, 10 best places for date night when you only have a few hours leaving the kids with the babysitter, right? Whatever it may be, then they give you an email address They download the guide, and now you have all these new prospective clients on your email list. And you've set up an automated email sequence. And I know this sounds like it's getting really complex. I walk you through all of this in the course, but it's one of those things you only have to set it up once and then just let it run, and it's automated. It'll keep working for you year round. You might want to make little tweaks to make it better, but it's going to keep running for you year round. That's why this is so great. And your email sequence can just be more of those things, like, how to choose a great venue for your wedding, or how to properly store your dress after the wedding, or non-traditional wedding ideas, right? You're just sending valuable content in an email for free to your client because they signed up on your list. And then at the end of maybe 5 to 6 emails that you've sent them, you have an offer. And it can be, book in the next 7 days, or schedule your consultation and receive 50% off your parent album, or 3 extra 8x10 prints, or included hair and makeup in your boudoir session if you book by a certain day, whatever it may be. But give them that deadline and actually stick to it. And this will encourage people to book you. And they've already got so much free value from you, they're going to love you. They're going to trust you. They're going to want to be a part of what you got, and they're going to at least be willing to meet with you. And if they're not, that's fine too. But you have significantly increased the odds of them booking you because you've given them all of this value for free and shown that you understand their wants and needs, and you're willing to make sure they get a great experience. So that is one of the things that's available in the course that's coming out next month. And I walk you through all the emails that you can send, how to set this thing up, how to target your Facebook ads, where to get those leads, the opt-ins set up on your website, step by step, everything. And I give you the overall strategy, all the steps to execute it, and then how to follow up, how to make sure that you can keep improving this thing time and time again so that it only gets better for you. And there's 18 ways, online and offline. So whether or not you want to do things in person or you prefer to sit behind a keyboard, I'm going to help you get more clients. And if you can book 1 to 2 clients from this thing, then it's going to pay for itself in no time. And again, this is how I get my own clients, and I'm still in business. So I know these things work. So do we have any other questions right now, to those of you who are hanging out? All right. Well, again, if you want to get in on the chance to be a beta tester and save $500 on this and get a few weeks head start on everybody else, you can swing on over to photogsunite.com/marketing course and sign up right there. Or if you have a US-based phone number, text marketing course as one word to 44222. And as always, Photogs, if you got any other questions for me, I'm here for you. You can email me, mike@photogsunite.com, or you can post them in the Photogs Unite Facebook group, where we have our weekly challenges, these live Q&A sessions, and all kinds of fun stuff for you throughout the week. Or you can just tune in next week, see what we're talking about, and chime in as you see fit. This will also be out on the Photogs Unite podcast coming out Friday, which I'm really excited about. We're going to start taking all these live Q&A sessions and sharing them on the podcast as well. So aside from the usual business professional interviews that you get every Tuesday morning, on Fridays, you will get all of the live Q&A sesh. So if you're not able to make these, or you don't want to sit around on Facebook and watch the videos, you can listen to them while you're driving to work, dropping the kids off at school, and not have to miss out on anything. So until next time, Photogs, remember that every photo you take brings you one step closer.
Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to hit subscribe down below so you never miss an episode. And be sure to swing on by our private Facebook community, Photogs Unite, where you can learn with other photogs from around the world who are just like you. And until next time, Photogs, remember that every photo you take brings you one step closer.